guys, welcome back to another episode, video, whatever you want to call it, of As Told by Batties, and I, of course, am Batties. I hope that the lighting, I just hope this video goes well because you guys know I just recently moved, so I haven't had a chance to like get my little like filming corner set up. Yeah, not so sure where I'm gonna put it either. So, and I wanted to film a YouTube video like ASAP, so I was like, let me just go to my bathroom. And I turned the light off because there's a fan, there's like an exhaust fan, and it's kind of loud, and I don't know how that's gonna sound like in the recording. So I turned the light off, and I just got my my ring light. So hopefully this video films well, but if not, just stay. Give me some patience, y'all. Give me some patience so I can get it all together. I don't think I really have any updates for you guys besides the fact that I am super excited and hyped and so pleased with how big our family and community has grown here on As Told by Batties. I'm just super excited and super grateful for everyone who continues to support my channel, continues to watch my videos, you know, comment, like, share. I just am so appreciative of you all, especially this year, because this was like the first, like my first full year, like really doing YouTube and getting into it and getting these videos out. So yeah, I'm just super excited for what 2021 has in store for me. Yeah, we're almost to 2,000 subscribers, and I wanted to hit 2,000 by the new year. And of course, it's never too late still. If it doesn't happen, that's okay. I'm still satisfied, very content with my channel this year. But yeah, we're almost to 2,000, so I'm super excited to just see where this channel is gonna go. But yeah, let's hop right in the video. Since you clicked on this video, you know this video is going to be a few tips and tricks, a few like little discussion about starting locks, how to start locks, the parting system you should use, the sizing, the methods. There's so much to know about starting locks, but I don't want that to like shy anyone away from starting locks, because like, you know, everything's a process, everything's a learning process. There's so much knowledge on everything. Like, knowledge is awesome, honestly, endless. And that's why I love one thing about knowledge and like education and just like researching stuff, because there's so much on just one topic. So don't let the lack of knowledge scare you away from starting your locks. Just do your research, and that's one thing I have on my list here. Do your research. This isn't no particular order, so don't think it is. But yes, the first thing I do want to touch on is doing your research. Like I said, there's a lot to know about hair in general, but like specifically locks. Well, I guess it would be hair, and then natural hair, and then locks, but there's a lot to know. And like I said, don't let the knowledge part of it scare you away from starting locks, because do your research. There's so many, YouTube is a blessing. It's so many countless videos, whatever topic you can question, come up with, just type it in that search bar, type it into Google, shoot, ask people on Facebook, because Facebook is super handy for like asking people their opinions and like just their experience. There's also so many groups on Facebook you can join. If you have questions, ask a question. You know, there are literally no dumb questions, so don't feel stupid. You know, asking someone questions, don't feel like your question's stupid. Like I said, there's no stupid questions, but you want to make sure you have some type of base knowledge as far as locks before you start them. You don't want to just start them and just not know how to take care of them. So one thing I would definitely research, probably two top things I would research before starting your locks. One, the best, whoa, what was I about to say? The best method to starting your locks for your hair type. And two, and I'm going to talk about that more. And two, what was I going to say? The method to start in, oh, and maintenance, how to take care of them. Because me taking care of my mature locks, I'm almost at 6 years this upcoming April. Me taking care of mature locks is different from taking care of starter locks. It's not too different, but there is some different, you know, stuff you have to do and switch up as your journey progresses on. But yeah, do your research, ask questions, know at least something, have a base knowledge of locks before you start them, definitely. Let's go into the two things that I said, maintenance, how to take care of them, and then how to start them in corresponding to your hair type. So there's so much, okay, there is like a few things that go into knowing like how to start your locks, whether like the method, so whether you do finger coils, comb coils, whatever you call them, two-strand twist, braids, instant lock extensions, whatever. There's many ways to start them, crocheting, interlocking, so many ways. I started mine finger coils. And I'll insert a picture somewhere here. But yeah, there's different types of ways to start your locks, so I would definitely research the best ways to start with you. I picked finger coils. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I hope this doesn't offend anyone who did start their locks with like two-strand twists or braids or anything. I chose to start my locks for finger coils for the simple fact that I just didn't want to like be walking around with like braids and like two-strand twists before they actually like locked into like a full like, you know, lock. I just didn't, I don't know. I was just thinking like, I don't know, because I've had like two-strand twists when I did have loose natural hair. I had two-strand twists. You know, I've worn them for a couple of days. I don't know. I just figured that having finger coils would be easier to, you know, tell people like, yeah, I'm locking my hair. I don't know if people are stupid or if they're just stupid, but people just, I don't know. People really don't be knowing. You know, people still come up to me in the almost 6 years that I've had locks and be like, oh, I like your braids. These don't even look like braids, dude. Like, but yeah, just stuff like that. And so that's why I chose to start with finger coils, because I just thought it would be like more of like a lock look before actually like having like the mature locks. I don't know. I've thought about this often. Again, and I think I'm gonna chop these off sometime and start over, but if and when I do start locks again, I probably would either do finger coils again or a two-strand twist. And I only say two-strand twist because I like how full, and keep in mind everyone's hair is different. Like how I start my hair isn't going to guarantee how your locks are going to look, because everyone's hair is different. But you can start any way you want to start. Yeah, just keep in mind if you do start with like two-strand twists and braids, you're going to be able to see the two-strand twists and braids until it like actually locks. When I started mine with finger coils, I thought like it would be like they would unravel easily, and I really didn't have any of them that unraveled easily. In my hair, I don't know the type of hair that I have as far as like 4C, blah blah blah. I will insert some pictures of my loose natural hair though. You guys can kind of, I don't know, take what you want from those pictures. But my hair was thick, but it wasn't like 4C thick. It was, I mean, it was, I don't know, it was soft enough for the stuff to unravel. But I would just be mindful and be somewhat careful, like not to the point where like, you know, it interrupted my days, but I would just be careful when I was like handling my hair, especially washing it, you know, just be gentle in my beginning stages. And don't do this because like, I mean, I feel like there's pros and cons to this. I would always sleep without a bonnet on. I say don't do this because cotton soaks up the moisture out of your hair, and so it can dry your hair out. But my thinking was like, oh, if I sleep without a bonnet on in my starter locks, it's gonna be like a lot of friction, like you know, rubbing your head on the pillows and blankets and stuff, a lot of friction, and oh, my hair is gonna get tangled easier equals locking faster. And I will say it did help definitely in the back, because you know, you sleeping on your back, so my back definitely did lock faster than my front. And I'll make a video on how to kind of make your hair lock faster, because there are some type of ways that I did to help my hair lock faster. But yeah, there's different ways to start your locks. So I would definitely suggest, before starting your locks, Googling and YouTubing and searching the best way to start your locks and corresponding to your hair type. Do you have loose hair? Do you have super thick hair? Do you have in the middle hair? Also, realize the sections in your hair. Where is your hair thickest at? Where is your hair loosest at? Where is your hair weakest at? And where's your hair strongest at? For me, my hair is strongest in the middle. My hair is weakest, honestly, around my whole edge, crown, no, not crown, around my whole perimeter. My hair is weakest. My hair is super thick in the middle, and then it gets weaker. Super strong, and then it gets weaker. That's just how my hair is. It's just how it is. Yeah, it's been like that since locks, since loose hair. It's just how it is. And I say that because whoever's starting your locks, I don't know if you want to be like this particularly with them, or because my sister started my locks, so I feel like if I wanted to be super picky with her, I could tell her, okay, my hair is thickest here, my hair is weakest here. Like I said, I'm not a loctician, but keep in mind where your hair is weakest at and keep in mind where your hair is strongest at. I put all that hair into one lock because over time, yeah, like at first your hair is lighter, but over time just know your locks get heavier, especially when you get them wet. They get heavier. So it doesn't make sense to put where your weakest part is in your hair. It doesn't make sense to put big parts because you don't want to put all that hair into one lock because it's going to get super heavy and it's going to weigh down that part and it's going to breakage. So for me, like I said, I'm not a loctician. Double check with someone, do your own research so you know. But for me, it just makes more sense to do smaller parts where your hair is thinner at, so it isn't pulling at your scalp and your locks are super heavy when they're wet, so you don't get any breakage. That's not to say where your hair is thinnest you want to do super small parts, because that won't be good either. So yeah, like I said, it's all about researching and, you know, asking people who have experienced locks, whether they be a loctician or just, you know, someone who you think has nice healthy locks. Not even just nice locks like from looking, but like they actually like are healthy. So yeah, parts, and that's another thing I was going to talk about, size. So let's go into the parts and size. So there's different parting ways you can start your locks. I'm going to be honest, my big sister, she started my locks. So honestly, and I say this all the time, like, wow, we really could have messed up big time with my locks, because you really can, if you don't know like how to start your locks correctly with your hair type and how like big or small the parts would be, you can really like mess up your hair. Because like I said, if you have thin hair, if you have hair on the thinner side, you don't want big parts, because it would not make sense to put all that hair into one lock, because for many reasons, you're gonna have a lot of scalp showing. If you have minimal hair, and everyone has different types of hair. When I say thin, don't think of thin as being bad. Some people just have thinner hair as compared to people who have super thick hair. It's just the way it is. But if you have thinner hair, you don't want to have super big parts, because, you know, if there's like 10 strands of, and of course there's more strands of hair, but if there's like 100 strands of hair on my head total, and of course everyone has more strands than that. If there's 100 strands and I only make 10 locks and I put 10 strands of hair into each 10 locks, you're gonna have so much space. And I hope this makes sense. It's just like, it just would not make sense to bunch everything into one lock if you have thinner hair. So if you do have thinner hair, I would strongly suggest having medium. If you do want like a thicker look, I would suggest having medium, or even smaller, because I feel like regardless, if you have locks, your hair is going to get thicker regardless. So if you do have the smaller locks, or if you do have thinner hair and you start with medium to smaller parts, it'll just look full. It'll look super full. So yeah, I wouldn't suggest people who have thinner hair to have thick locks, because your scalp couldn't handle it. It would just be way too heavy on your scalp. As far as people with thicker locks, I wouldn't suggest you to have, I mean, I've seen people who have thick hair, and I think it kind of does work now that I'm thinking about it. If you do have thick hair, I think it'd be okay to have thick locks, because, you know, you have thick hair, there's a lot of hair. If you do put a lot of like strands of hair into one lock, then, you know, you have room to, your scalp has enough like strands of hair for it not to like pull and snag, like it's strong enough. So like this one's kind of thick, you know, and it has enough hair coming from the scalp to hold on to its thickness. Like this one. I combined this lock right here, and it's super thick. It's super thick. But at the roots, I will admit, it's not as thick as I would like it at the roots, because it is in one of the spots where my hair is weakest. Like I said, my surrounding hair on the edges is weakest, and so I combine this, and it's super, I wouldn't say it's super heavy. It's not pulling my scalp or anything, so I'm not losing hair like at my roots or anything, but it is like the lock itself is super thick, and when it does get wet, it can like get super heavy and pull on my scalp. So that's what I'm saying. I hope this makes sense. If you have any questions about what I'm saying and I'm not explaining this like thoroughly or like in a way that you're able to understand it, I'm not saying like you're stupid or anything. I'm just saying like I know, so I need to work on my effective communication skills. But if you do have any questions, just comment them below. I'm really good about responding to comments. So yeah, parts, size. Parts, like I said, there's different ways to part your hair. My sister started mine, and she is not a loctician at all, and I'm honestly going to say she knows like nothing really about Locs. And so, like I said, it was like a hit for, she really could have messed up my locks is what I'm saying. So she just parted my hair. I'm not even sure. I know she started row by row. So she went row by row, not like parting it and then going rows this way, but she went rows by this way, starting in the back. And yeah, so I think I have square parts. I don't part when I retwist, and so I really don't even like know what size parts I have. And as you know, progress in your loc journey, your parts will honestly start to change up if you're not like, I don't know, I feel like if you go to a loctician, they might be a little more consistent in your parts. But as far as like if you do your hair yourself, like for me, I don't part my hair and I don't like pulling and breaking my hair, so I just be letting them do what they want, you know. But the parts are still there, as you see. The parts are definitely still there. They're just not in like, you know, a box shape. But I still have my parts. So yeah, there's different part methods. I know there's like, you can part like, I don't know if it's oval, a circle, oh, I think it's oval. Then I'll insert pictures so you guys know what I'm talking about. You can part in diamonds, you can part in squares. I think there's a parting system called bricks or something. I don't know. The best way that I've seen, and this is how I probably part my hair if and when I start my locks over, is diamond parting, because the locks themselves lay in between the locks. So it just gives your hair a fuller look. I know I've heard that like the square parting, it can make your hair like a little like thinner looking and like have more scalp showing, because they're laying on top of each other instead of like falling in between each other, the locks themselves. I hope this makes sense. Brain fart. I'm going to link a video below that helped me understand parting systems. This is really good YouTuber. But yeah, there's different parts you can start, and like I said, just do your research. And that's why I say you should always do your research before you start your locks, so you know how to start your locks in according to your hair type. And that is so important, because you can't just show your loctician anyone's locks and be like, I want my locks to look like this, because that's their hair and that's how their locks turned out. And your locks are going to turn out how your locks are going to turn out. So yeah. But you can't always tell your loctician like, yeah, I want this size locks, and she'll be like, okay. I would just definitely, if you don't start them yourself, because you can definitely start them yourself, I believe in you, definitely just have someone help you part in the back, and save some money. You know, my sister started mine. You can definitely go to a loctician and be like, I want my hair to be this size. Definitely before you get your locks started, you want to have an in-depth conversation about how you want your locks to be. And yeah, so moving on. Maintenance, this is the last thing I'm going to touch on of things to know before starting your locks and how to start your locks. Maintenance, I hear this so much, so much. So many people always say, oh, I want to start locks because I don't want to have to do my hair. Hold up, stop right there. If you think starting locks you will not have to take care of your hair and still do your hair, then you need to reconsider this journey, because I'm telling you that you still have maintenance for your hair. And honestly, some days I'm doing more for this type of hair, my locks, than I did was, you know, for my loose natural hair, and that's just the way it is. I feel like with any hair, whether locks or straight hair, curly hair, wavy hair, natural hair, loose natural hair, whatever, the health and, you know, the quality of your hair is going to depend on if you're taking care of it and the quality that you are taking care of it at. And that includes products, that includes wrapping it at nights, not retwisting too much so it's thinning, you know, going to people who know what they're talking about and actually care about your locks rather than just caring about getting some money. Because, you know, I retwist hair, and someone asked me to dye their hair, and I was just like, I can, but I'm not going to, because I don't think this is a wise decision as far as the health of your locks. You know, some people, they'll do anything for your hair just for the dollar, you know. So are you going to people who care about your locks and who know what they're talking about, you know? Because you can go to anybody and they can really mess up your locks. Products, for me, I've just always used natural products for the most part, besides, you know, when I'm dyeing my hair and like conditioning my hair. Moisturizing, I always just use shea butter, oils, and waters. Literally, that's it, that's all. I don't hot oil treat my hair. I mean, you can, it's not bad at all. I just personally don't, because I hate having oil, like, I hate feeling it like on my neck and like running down my neck. I hate that, so I don't. I used to deep condition my hair a lot, when I first started my locks, but I noticed that I wasn't being like thorough with washing the deep conditioner out of my locks. So if you are going to condition and deep condition, just make sure you're being thorough with washing it out. Take your time and be patient with your washes, because they will take a long time, especially squeezing the products out of your locks. It takes time, so just be thorough. But know that if you are starting locks, you are going to have to take care of your hair. You're going to have to learn how to take care of your hair all over again, because this is a different type of care. What you're doing with your loose natural hair, you can, you know, translate some of that to lock care, but there are, you know, some other stuff you're going to have to unlearn and learn again. So yeah. But I definitely do your research before you start locks. Like I said, there's a lot to know. You don't have to know everything, but definitely make sure you have some type of base and ground that you're starting on, so you know what you're getting yourself into and how to maintain them in the starter lock journey. Yeah. The one thing I wanted to touch on too, with as far as starting them, you can start them through like interlocking, or like I'm just gonna touch on this real fast. Interlocking, permanent locks, and like, what are those locks? Instant locks. So interlocking is like where they like interlock it at the roots. If you do want to interlock your hair, and I've never interlocked my hair, but if you want to, just make sure you're going to someone who is knowledgeable on how to interlock, because if they're not, they can really mess up your hair and put a hole in the middle. So like, you'll just have like, it'll look like this, like literally two sections will just be twisted in the opposite directions, and so you can never get them to like conjoin, because the hairs in that lock are all twisted in different directions, if that makes sense. I'll insert a picture of holes in the locks due to interlocking. But yeah, to each his own. I always tell people I wouldn't do it, but I know everyone is different, so have your own opinion. This is just my opinion. I know some people who do interlock and it's worked for them. Good for you. If you do interlock, like I said, just go to somebody who knows what they're doing and has some experience under their belt, because someone really can mess you up if they don't know what they're doing interlocking. Instant locks, the same thing. I don't think you can really mess up instant locks if you're not like crocheting them at the roots. I started some instant locks, and I'll insert a picture if I get her permission. I love them, literally. So yeah, instant locks, I feel like, like I said, you can't really mess those up when you start them. Just make sure you're going to someone who knows what they're doing. You don't want someone who's gonna break your hair when they crochet the lock, your instant lock. And then lock extensions, I'm probably gonna make a whole separate video on lock extensions, because I have so much to say on this topic. My advice, and this is my opinion again, I would not do lock extensions, permanent lock extensions, because it's just, the hair doesn't grow out of your scalp, and so your scalp can be weighed down, and it can, result in breakage and thinning at your scalp, because your hair is not used to having extra hair, heavier hair on your scalp, so it just pulls it and weighs it down, especially when it's wet. So I always just tell people, and locking, like, I mean, to each his own, but for me, I feel like locks are like a spiritual thing, like putting someone else's hair into your locks, into your hair, and calling them locks. I feel like that just defeats the lock purpose. And I know to each his own, like, I'm not, the lock patrol police, but I just feel like locks, they're supposed to take you on a journey, and from experience myself, I'm almost 6 years locked. My locks have truly taken me on a journey of self-love, patience, so much, like, so much. And so I just feel like permanent locks and lock extensions just, and for one, they don't look the best anyways. Some of them, they just don't look natural. There, I said it, and I'm done with this video. So if you guys have any more questions on starting your locks, things to know about starting your locks, if you have any questions that I didn't get to or answer, because it is a lot, and I didn't want to make this video super long, and I might just have to make another video or another, like, snippet to this. But if you do have any more questions, you can message me on Instagram. I get lock questions all the time on Instagram, and I respond. So message me, you can comment below, and I respond. You can email me, whatever, and I'll respond. And I like talking about locks, so you can ask me questions, and I'll answer them for y'all, because But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Maybe even turn that notification bell so you can get notified when I post more videos. Don't forget to hit that share button. Maybe share it with someone who's thinking about starting their locks. And yeah, thank you guys again for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year if I don't make a video before the New Year, but I do plan to. But yeah, love you guys. See you later.